So I guess kind of just moving slightly away from conversational AI and the use of large language models as an enabler of asking people questions in market research. It's also been really exciting to see there's been lots of other experiments that people have been doing and lots of ideas being put forward, stimulated by the capabilities of ChatGPT for how AI can be used in market research. So, I've seen people using AI to help them write better survey questions or discussion guides, or people talking about how AI could be used to as an aid to kind of analysis of data, or even kind of AI models like DALL-E being used to kind of create visual stimulus for use in market research. So, kind of interested to know what do you think of these ideas?
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool and exciting things going on. And I think a lot of like parallel advances where there's just a lot of different types of intelligence really emerging very quickly and in different modalities. So like you mentioned, images, but also language, but not just text. There's also a lot of really good models emerging that are related to, for example, text to speech or analysis of speech. And not only that, but there's other things. So there's even analysis of like what's going on in your brain. So there's a lot of, for example, there's a new model called MindViz, which is able to take an fMRI recording of when someone is, for example, looking at a visual stimulus. You can take an fMRI recording, and then we're actually using that model. It's able to recreate the visual stimulus. So it's able to create an image of what the person is looking at. So yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
And yeah, it's able to do it with pretty astounding accuracy. There's still, it's definitely not perfect, but it's mind-blowing in terms of comparison to what we've had in the past. And so, yeah, I think with all of these put together, there's really a huge amount of room for a lot of opportunity for new trends in market research. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you can imagine with the conversational AI aspects, that there's going to be a lot of development in terms of having automated conversations, but also a lot of improvements in terms of social listening, and also a lot of improvements in some of the challenges related to actually analyzing all of that data. You also mentioned sort of productivity boosting for market researchers themselves. And I think that's going to be a huge emerging trend, not just in market research, but across tons of industries. There's already been a huge amount of movement with tons of little applications and new startups emerging that are finding all sorts of ways to use language, to use some sort of conversational interface, so that it's sort of AI assistants that are actually useful, as opposed to in the past where they were pretty clunky and at least as far as I'm concerned, not that useful. But now you can actually have a conversation with an AI, tell it exactly what you want, and then it's able to help you accomplish that. Mm-hmm. So between all those things, I think in particular, sort of virtual reality is probably going to be a very promising sort of channel in the near future for market research. So especially with what we've seen in terms of being able to generate images or generate even videos or even 3D objects, it will become increasingly easy to create really immersive and interactive virtual realities. And for example, one thing you could imagine is you have a virtual reality that's created from someone just describing what kinds of elements or what kind of background are, you could say, I want a grocery store and it's got these products on the aisle. And then you can have sort of an interviewer within that virtual reality that's using conversational AI in order to interact with the human to ask them questions. And maybe this is all happening while the person is actually within an fMRI machine. And then we can analyze whatever it is that they're experiencing in their brain to recreate visually to understand sort of what's going on.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's mind-boggling. So I guess some of that's about the metaverse, and I guess in terms of creating those kind of VR environments and having kind of conversations or even focus groups maybe in the metaverse.
Yeah, exactly. I think all of that is not only possible, but probably going to be happening very soon.